The notification from my banking app buzzed against the conference table, drawing my eyes down mid-presentation. $5,000 withdrawal confirmed flashed across my screen. My throat closed as I read the sender. Joint family account. My vision tunneled to those 3 words beneath it. Approved by Patricia Stevens, my mother's name. The mother who had texted me just 30 minutes earlier. Rachel, we need $2,800 for Olivia's prom dress. Send it today or don't call yourself family anymore. I gripped the edge of the table, suddenly aware of my colleagues staring as my carefully prepared marketing pitch died on my lips. The projector hummed in the silence. The spreadsheet showing our client's projected growth, my work, my expertise, blurred before me as the truth crystallized with sickening clarity. This wasn't about a prom dress. This was about the $100,000 they'd been stealing from me for years. My name is Rachel Matthews. I'm 35 and a marketing manager who built my life from nothing. This is the story of how I discovered my family had been embezzling from me for years and how I finally made them pay. I'd always been the responsible one. After putting myself through college with 2 jobs and student loans, I'd climbed the marketing ladder through relentless work and sacrifice. No handouts, no shortcuts. By 30, I was running major campaigns and living comfortably, a world away from my family's constant financial chaos. My parents had poured everything into my sister Olivia, their golden child, born when I was 17 and already working part-time to support myself. While I saved for textbooks, they threw her $2,000 birthday parties. While I juggled jobs to pay rent, they funded her weekend trips with friends. "She's young. Let her enjoy life," my mother would say, as though my youth hadn't mattered. 4 years ago, I'd set up a joint family account to help them with necessities, utilities, groceries, emergency medical expenses, a safety net I thought they needed, managed through automatic transfers from my savings. My mistake was trusting them to use it responsibly. My bigger mistake was not monitoring it closely. I had set up text notifications for large withdrawals over $5,000, but I'd been so consumed with advancing my career and trusting my family that I rarely checked the smaller transactions. Olivia had grown up expecting luxury as her birthright. At 18, she demanded $500 dresses and $200 dinners without a second thought. I'd seen the signs: new jewelry on my sister, my mother's vague excuses about unexpected expenses, but I'd ignored them, too busy building my career to question where my money was really going. The conference room emptied as I sat frozen, staring at my phone. My boss, Daniel, touched my shoulder. "Rachel, you okay?" I nodded mechanically, gathering my notes with trembling hands. "Family emergency," I managed. "I'll reschedule with the clients this afternoon." I hurried back to my office, closing the door behind me. I pulled up the joint account I hadn't checked in years. What I saw made my stomach drop. Dozens of transactions to high-end retailers, payments to jewelers, regular withdrawals labeled Olivia Allowance, a $3,200 transfer to Elite Prom Planning Services just last week. My finger hovered over my mother's contact. Instead, I called Olivia. I still had her number programmed into my favorites, even though our conversations had grown increasingly strained over the years. "What's going on with the family account?" I kept my voice steady despite the rage building in my chest. Her response was immediate and practiced. "I don't know what you're talking about." $5,000 disappeared today. Mom's asking for prom money. What's happening? "God, Rachel, you're so dramatic." Her voice dripped with the entitlement I'd helped create. "It's just money. You have plenty." "It's my money," I said, the words feeling foreign on my tongue. Had I ever said that to them before? "Whatever. Mom and Dad said you'd pay. It's not like you need it." The call ended with her hanging up on me, leaving me staring at the banking app that showed years of systematic theft disguised as family support. I called Ellen Ward, my friend, and a lawyer who worked down the hall at my firm. "I need to see you. It's important," I said, my voice tight. After hanging up, I walked down the hall to Ellen's office. I sat across from her, watching her forensic analysis of my family's betrayal unfold on her computer screen. Each click revealed another layer of deception. "Rachel, they've been systematically draining this account," Ellen said, her voice gentle but firm. Credit card payments, car loans, a second mortgage they never told you about, and these, she pointed to a series of recurring transfers, all going to boutiques, salons, even a travel agency. For my sister, I said, the words bitter in my mouth. Over the past 4 years, they've taken approximately $100,000 from this account. Ellen's words fell like stones. And based on these payments to creditors I can see here, they're in much deeper debt than they've admitted. I'd estimate around $500,000. My parents' desperate calls for a little help flashed through my mind, each one a calculated move in a long con perpetrated against their own daughter. What do I do? I asked. First, close the account, today. Then decide what kind of relationship you want with people who would do this to you. The next morning, I made the call to the bank. 10 minutes later, the joint account was frozen, pending closure. I drafted a text to my family group chat. Account closed. I know about the $100,000. No more money. My phone exploded immediately. Olivia first. You can't do this. Then my mother. How dare you accuse us? We needed that money. My father. Rachel, think about what you're doing to us. I silenced my phone and focused on breathing. For the first time in years, I felt something unexpected. Relief. 3 days later, I took a personal day from work and drove to my parents' suburban home, a folder of bank statements on the passenger seat. The weight of what I was about to do pressed against my chest, but my hands were steady on the steering wheel. My family was waiting when I arrived. My mother's eyes already narrowed in defense, my father standing with arms crossed, Olivia slouched in an armchair, her expression a practiced pout. I placed the folder on the coffee table, open to the first page of transactions. I know everything, I said, my voice calm despite the storm inside me. The account I set up to help you, you've taken $100,000 over 4 years, and you're drowning in $500,000 of debt. I spread out the documents, credit card statements, loan paperwork, proof of the second mortgage they'd hidden from me. I'd spent the previous evening requesting these records from the bank and printing everything I needed for this confrontation. Every time you called for help with bills, you were funding this. I pointed to a transaction for $1,200 at a designer boutique. And this, a $3,000 payment to a resort in Cancun. And this, the $3,200 to the prom planner, all with my money. How dare you investigate us? My mother hissed, her face contorted with indignation rather than shame. This is family business. Family? The word tasted sour. You threatened to disown me over a prom dress while stealing thousands from me. My father stepped forward, his voice sharp. You don't understand, Rachel. We had no choice. The debts piled up. You were supposed to help us. I did help you, I said, the words like glass in my throat. I sent thousands every year. You blew it on things you couldn't afford. We did it for her, my mother cried, gesturing to Olivia, who still wouldn't meet my eyes. For your sister's future. I looked at Olivia, waiting for some defense, some apology. Her silence said everything. She wasn't just complicit, she was entitled to it all. You can't walk away from us, my father said, desperation edging into his voice. We're your family. You owe us. The audacity burned in my throat. I don't owe you anything, I said, my voice rising. I closed the account. No more money, you're on your own. My mother gasped, clutching her chest like I'd struck her. You're abandoning us. I held their gazes, refusing to back down. You abandoned me first. You used my trust, my savings for years. The room erupted. My mother shouting about loyalty, my father accusing me of betrayal, and Olivia just sitting there, mute, as if none of this was her fault. I gathered the documents, my hands steady now. I'm done, I said, walking to the door. Their voices followed me, a chorus of anger and desperation. But I didn't turn back. That night, I blocked their numbers and filtered their emails to spam. Each tap felt like severing a thread I'd spent years tying myself to. It hurt, but it also brought a quiet strength. I was done being their financial hostage. 6 months later, news reached me through a distant cousin who called to check on me after hearing about the family rift. My parents had filed for bankruptcy. The $500,000 in debts had finally consumed them. The house with its second mortgage was gone. Olivia had taken a job at a retail store, folding clothes and working a cash register for minimum wage. I didn't feel triumph, just a bittersweet relief. Maybe my sister would learn what I'd tried to teach her, that nothing comes without work, that entitlement is a poison. As for me, I found a new kind of peace. The constant calls, the guilt trips, the demands, they were gone. I focused on rebuilding my savings and seeing a therapist to unpack the years of manipulation. I learned that setting boundaries wasn't selfish, it was survival. Looking back, this ordeal taught me something vital. Family doesn't mean obligation. Love shouldn't come with a price tag. I spent years thinking I had to save them, that their problems were mine to fix. I was wrong. To everyone listening, thank you for following my story. If you're caught in a similar cycle, know this. You don't owe anyone your security. Protect yourself first. It's not selfish, it's self-preservation. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and join me for more real stories about setting boundaries and reclaiming your life. And drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your experiences with family financial pressure. Before you go, here's a quick bonus for sticking around. If you love learning and growing like I do, you need to try audiobooks. I've got an exclusive deal with Audible. Your first month is completely free. That's access to over 500,000 titles, zero cost to you. All the details are waiting in the description. Don't miss this one.